Ladies and gentlemen, I messed up. I was supposed to be somewhere, and I'm a week ahead of time. But I figured since today at 20 till 3 o'clock, Steeler Nation is like, what in the world is going on? So if you guys got nothing to do, hey, let's talk about it. The Steelers are making more moves than you can shake a stick at right now. So, sit back. We'll talk about it. I want to hear what you guys got to think about what happened at 20 till 3 today. That's right. And we're going to do a special Black and Gold Dynasty podcast. So stay tuned. Well, I can do anything I want to. I can have shows. I cannot have shows. Usually I have the Triple B experience on Friday nights, everybody. I was going to go to a wrestling show, but that's not till next Friday. So I totally effed up what I was doing. But actually, I don't know if I messed up as much as the trade that happened today at 20 till 3. One of my coworkers actually told me, Brewer, the Pittsburgh Steelers just did something. And what they did was they traded Kenny Pickett. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. One more time. The Steelers traded their number one pick, Kenny Pickett, to the Philadelphia Eagles. That's right, the Eagles. The Steelers received 2025 seventh round picks while swapping number 120 in 2024 to draft for number 98. So, wow. Unreal. Never I didn't see this as possible with the signing of Russell Wilson, as we talked about this past Wednesday. Kenny, I don't think appreciated them signing Russell Wilson. I have no idea. Rob Bash, thanks for tuning in to this special Black and Gold Dynasty podcast Friday night edition due to this big, huge trading of Kenny Pickett. Robert Cook, thanks for tuning in. Chris Elliott, thanks for tuning in as always. I just wanted to go on tonight. Kal-El. Well, hey, kid, I think they're going all in right now to get the older guys on defense, get them a playoff win here. Kevin Shields, what's up? Paul, what's going on? Yeah, I mean, I like to hear all your comments, your criticisms, your unbelievable self-doubt of what the Steelers are doing. I have never seen this ever in my entire life. The Steelers trading their first round pick, who probably was 13 for 7, maybe. I know he started off his first year 7 and 2 on that long roller coaster ride in that year, his first year. Beth Bodsford, thanks for tuning in. Special belated birthday to you. Okay, here we go. In all honesty, Kal-El says, if you make the playoffs, you're not looking at Kenny Pickett and you're saying he's our guy. Let's put it this way. I didn't want to see an aftermath of Dan Marino again, Dan Marino 2.0, but I think it was Dan Marino 2.0 in the Dollar General version. So, okay. Bill, what's up? Not a fan of this move. I didn't think they'd actually do it. A lot of people said it was crazy. I thought he was just going to, be able to compete for the number one quarterback position. I don't know what they're doing. As of right now, we have Russell Wilson at $1.2 million. They got rid of Mitch Trubisky, thank God. He went back to Buffalo, Kal-El. You can take him now. Thank you very much. And then Mason Rudolph this week left for Tennessee Titans for only $3 million. And Bill said, but it's not unheard of for a new OC to decide to quarterback not fit. Yeah, I think Arthur Smith, but there has been a lot of speculation. I think when he was healthy and he didn't suit up for the Seattle game, could have been the start of something that we saw today. I have no idea. And it took me, I still couldn't believe it. And that's why I'm doing this show tonight, because like I did a show last night. It had nothing to do. And then there's so much Steeler news. I can't keep up with everything. So, I mean, I'm glad I didn't buy a Kenny Pickett jersey. Holy shit, am I happy. But I do get the Steeler Marvel Legend figures, or Marvel, Steeler figures, whatever the hell they are. And they had Kenny Pickett. They have Kenny Pickett at the store in my hometown. And they're probably going to be going real cheap. Now, kid, I don't know what you're smoking up there in Punxsutawney, but there is no way. Your team is, the Buffalo Bills is getting rid of all their cap casualties, man. I don't know you better stick with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Randy White, thanks for tuning in. Devil, thanks for tuning in. I appreciate you guys jumping on. What's your take? I know Bill said he's not happy, with this pick. Brock Singleton is not happy about this pick. And he right now is the first one that has said it. Okay. We're going to have a special guest, because now we're going to get the take from Philadelphia here. I'm going to give him a special invite here momentarily. Rich Smoke is going to be in the house here momentarily, but let me talk about some this Kenny Pickett stuff before I bring him on. Jerry Dulac was made a move the pick of the way Pickett was poorly handled by the arrival of Russell Wilson, according to sources that came on the heels of Pickett's behavior last season when he refused to dress as an emergency third-string quarterback in Seattle in Week 17. Okay, now Arthur Breer confirmed that by Jerry Dulac's reporting that Kenny Pickett's handling of Wilson's signing was a factor in the Steelers' decision. He communicated to the team he was fine with competing for the job, and then went the other way when Wilson was added. Okay, the situation exuberated by the rumors, like I said, when he did not dress in Seattle. But also, too, like I said, the class of 2022. Kenny Pickett, the first draft quarterback, 20th. Okay. He was traded. Desmond Ridder, 71st, traded. Malik Willis, 86 to the Titans, traded. Matt Corral, backup, could be out of the NFL. Bailey Zapp, 137th overall, Patriots backup. Sam Howell, traded. What a botchel of quarterback. That could be the worst This could be the worst quarterback class maybe in NFL history. Boothie, what's going on? Hold on here. I'm going to read this comment, then I am going to Devil. It's a good thing. He's trimming everything, brother. I think this is the last hurrah for Cam Hayward, and I believe TJ and Minka with this defense, and they're just going, I think they cashed all in. But I'm going to send the invite to Rich Smoke here momentarily. Yeah, you're right, Booth. Tomlin, he loves Russell Wilson. But also, too, people, Russell Wilson throws for 20 touchdowns. We're already ahead of the game. But we don't have any quarterbacks. Like, Russell Wilson goes out, we're screwed. Very screwed. So let me get Rich Smoke and get his take on it, because you know what? He's going to have Kenny Pickett with the Philadelphia Eagles. And we can get that side, and then we can get it fresh. Steelers actually also picked up Van Jefferson. Not the Jefferson that I wanted, but they picked up Van Jefferson. Played for the Rams and Atlanta Falcons to a 1-year deal. Yeah, it's I'm hoping they get Boyd. I'm hoping. I'm so hoping. You know, he was He helped the Rams team in midseason. He was effective replacing Robert Woods, who later suffered an ACL. And then after OBJ, Jefferson stayed the course. He had 802 yards, 6 touchdowns, added 9 receptions and 102 yards in playoffs. He collected a Super Bowl ring, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. And after the knee surgery in Florida, kept him on the shelf. So, yeah, we got some a little bit of help on receivers today. Not the we're gonna have a little bit more added to the receiver. We need a bigger veteran. They also re-signed Montavious Adams. He's got a 2-year deal from the Steelers. Steele says they're all going all in for a 9-8 season. Steele says, well, Steele's pissed because he's a Pitt fan, and he is pissed. Burns was talking shit on you today on social media, and when he called me today, and I called him back, he was talking shit on you, Steele. So when you see him, you can punch him right in the mouth. So yeah, I gave it. Rich, I gave you the link. Hopefully, Rich Smoke's going to come on. Benjamin says Pickett is better than Wilson. I don't know now. I really don't, Benjamin. Wilson has a Super Bowl ring and actually threw for 26 touchdowns last year. I don't know. I didn't think that they were going to do something like that. But the Steelers have 3 remaining needs in free agency, people. They Ahmad Watts left for New England Patriots today. The 3 choices, they need a top receiver, an offensive lineman, and another defensive tackle now because they lost Watts to the Patriots. So, I mean, it's just it's a little crazy. And also, there's 3 things that the Steelers that have options at quarterback. Number 3, sign Ryan Tannehill because he played under Arthur Smith, get him cheap. There has been said that the Steelers could draft Spencer Rattler on day 2. And Steele, you're absolutely right. The number one thing is get that option to trade for Justin Fields. That's the number one thing that the Steelers can do in their quarterback things. Steele says they better get Fields now and hope he isn't a bust. It's all a gamble. I don't know who's going to pack Benjamin. I have no idea who is going to back up Russell Wilson as of right now. So I'm waiting for Rich Smoke. Hopefully I gave him the right. I'll go back in and send him another one here. But like I said, we're going to get that take from his Philadelphia side because that's where Kenny Pickett's going, Philadelphia. Closer to home in Jersey, I believe. So, I mean, it is what it is. So, let's see. Is that right? Yeah, that's right. See if that's if that works. Oh, there he is. Oh.
I am here.
I sent you another one. So, let me hear your take because you're out in Philly. And you do, everybody welcome Rich Smoke to the show. Rich Smoke is the host with Freight Train of Elite.
Oops, sorry.
Fine. No, you're good. NFL Elite Banner every Thursday night at 8 o'clock.
I think I'm frozen here, Bubba. Let me.
No, you're good. I hear you.
Figure this out. I don't know why I'm frozen.
That's okay, but I hear you.
There we go. Okay, I'm good now.
Okay, so what's your take? Now you got Kenny Pickett on the other side of the state.
So, I mean, just for the record, I'm still not. I'm just as much of not a fan as I was yesterday. So,
yeah.
I mean, for me, I mean, I'm not mad. I mean, at first when I heard about the trade, I mean, my first initial thought was, what the hell did we give up for Kenny fucking Pickett? That was my first thought. Was
right.
Howie's usually great at trades. He's phenomenal at getting the right value. But I got a little nervous. I won't lie. But I will say, for you guys. And again, there's a lot of different reports that we're seeing right now.
Right,
funny because
I always go off of Jerry Dulac because Dulac is the inside source, and that's who I actually.
Funny though, because
I outsource.
None of these reports were cared about until today, which is what's funny is it's how the NFL is. Everybody kind of brushed the stories off to the side. Nobody really cared about the rumors. Now all of a sudden he got traded, and people were crapping on him. But I will say, I can see it from 2 different sides. And I was actually messaging you a little bit ago before you went live.
You're absolutely right.
I feel bad for him, and I don't. I mean, it's a part of the business, right? I mean, obviously, you're going to get moved on from. I do think the Russell Wilson thing, I think the conflictual thing there was, he was told, hey, there's going to be competition, right? And that's fine. Like, and I don't think he was opposed to that. But I think what happens is when you sign a guy like Russell Wilson, you're no longer saying, hey, you're competing for the job.
Right.
You're pretty much being told, like, they told him, hey, no matter who we bring in, that's what everybody was saying. No matter who we bring in, it's a quarterback competition. When you bring in Russell Wilson, are you really telling Kenny Pickett it's competition? Or are you telling him, hey, by the way, we haven't told you you're a backup, but by now you've kind of figured out you're a backup. I mean, again, as a human being, I put it in the perspective of,
sure,
I'm a sales manager at my job. If I got told, by the way, we're demoting you for a little while, we're putting you back to a regular employee. This guy Bubba comes with a lot of background, has a ton of experience.
Well, I wish, but
we're gonna bring him in for a year. We're gonna give him the role. But once he's gone, then we'll bring you back. I'm not gonna lie to you. That would rub me the wrong way too. I'm just saying from an outside perspective.
No, I feel it. I mean, everybody on this side, except for Burns, is not liking this at all.
Yeah, Freight Train.
Burns. Yeah. What'd Freight Train say?
I know John Collier, Big Dog. You've had him on the show before. He called me right after the trade, and he was pissed. He was like, I wasn't happy with the production, but I wanted to see us develop him. I wanted to see the Pittsburgh Steelers work on this guy. And I told him, I said, it feels like a steal for us. I'm going to tell you why.
Okay.
Because I get that that's what his value is in the market because he didn't play well. I get that.
Right,
but really, I mean, all we did was we traded back 22 spots. We gave up 2 7th-round draft picks, and that's it.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't like we gave you a 4th and 2 7ths. We gave you our 3rd at the very last pick of the 3rd round. You gave us a middle round 4th, so that's not a big differential there. It's 22.
Right.
And we gave you 2 7th-rounders for a first-round guy 2 years ago.
Yeah, I don't think it's good. I really don't. And like I said, everybody is not agreeing with this at all.
I keep seeing comments like this where oh, it's a good thing. It's good for the locker room. I don't think so. Nobody had a problem with Kenny Pickett. Nobody.
No, I mean they wanted to see how he would develop under a different offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
And now we'll never ever get to see it. I don't know.
Because I mean they signed Russell Wilson. I mean if they would have signed, let's say for example they signed
Steele.
Yeah. But had they signed Tannehill or had they signed Marcus Mariota or there's a whole list of guys in free agency.
Right.
Had they signed somebody who was decent but beatable in a competition, I don't think he would have said F off. I think it was the fact that you didn't tell him, hey, everybody's he didn't want to compete. When you signed Russell Wilson, you weren't telling him it was time for a competition. We all knew, like everybody was, even NFL Network, ESPN,
everybody.
There was not one NFL source, including Schefter, including Rappaport. They were all saying the same thing. The signing of Wilson tells us Kenny Pickett will be the backup in the 2024-2025 season.
Yep.
That's what pissed him off. I have a feeling the meeting they had before was a little bit different.
I can't believe, even if they pissed him off in saying that, they just didn't say, hey, you're gonna just sit on the bench or do whatever or compete. And they just hurried up and got him out of town very, very quickly.
That's what bothers me too. Is it's not that tells me that there's no way in hell that you guys sat down and tried to. It's on both sides. That's on both sides.
Right.
I'm not bashing just Pittsburgh. It takes 2 sides of tango. My grandma always said, and I say it too.
Well, everybody says that, yeah.
Nobody even tried to dance. Nobody tried to dance. It was like a no show. Like nobody showed up to talk, and that was
a 4th round pick and switching to 7ths. It's like like you're getting Coca-Cola, but it's not Coke. It's just cheaper shit.
3rd technically, but it's the very last.
Right. Yeah, but still.
It's the 3rd round, the 98th pick. It's the last.
Well, Steele says that Dulac is the Steelers' mouthpiece, and then he also said he'll get a ring in Philly before he would in Pittsburgh. That's what Steele says. So, and I got a lot of stuff. I got Bill Mims, who's actually a Philadelphia Eagles fan, on the horn. Bill Johnson's in here. Paul Atlas, God bless you. Chris, thanks for tuning in. And Shellhammer, what's up, brother? Like I just did this as a spur of a moment because this is big news, and I couldn't keep it for next Wednesday.
I actually had a plan. I think I told you last night in the chat, I plan on doing a random episode every week. But I think what I might start doing is doing like recorded videos of like big news and just dropping it on the page. Yeah. It was like 5-minute things. There's so much stuff going on right now.
Well, you got it. Well, and I tell everybody, if they want NFL news, they go to your site because you're all NFL people. I'm just black and gold.
And just so you guys know, I mean, one of the goals that I'm going to have here in the next couple of weeks is I'm going to be posting videos whenever something big happens. It'll be small little 3-4 minute videos.
Sure.
But I'm just going to do a quick, hey, this is what happened. This is my quick feed on it, my quick take. Give me your comment. Because there's a couple big things today. Jimmy Garoppolo got signed by the Rams. And
oh, he did? He did? I was just going to say, because someone just asked me, Bubba, any good quarterbacks left in free agents or any centers available? I don't think there's any centers. And the quarterbacks that are out there now is Tannehill and maybe, man, I don't even know.
That's where I would almost expect Pittsburgh to go, though, as far as the quarterback market. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, they already have an old guy in Wilson, so maybe they don't. I mean, if they don't sign anybody else out of free agency, that tells me they're definitely going to draft somebody. They're definitely going to.
Yes.
Let me see. Since then, DJ talked to the front office about Pickett, and the players spoke up as well. My theory. I don't know though, because again, the problem is obviously like there's one guy who's the mouthpiece, and I get that. We all have that guy. Like the Eagles have Spadaro. But the problem is, though, we're never going to know the true all wording. Just remember, even if that guy is the mouthpiece of Pittsburgh, he is still told, hey, make sure you pitch this a certain way.
Yeah.
We don't want to track the franchise, but you can't tell the truth either. You got to kind of give it with a little bit of a hint.
I can't believe I mean, as less than a week, the Steelers traded both pretty much their starting quarter. I mean, he was the starting quarterback until he got hurt. Yep. And their starting receiver, Dante Johnson, in less than a week. This is unheard of in anything in Steeler history that I have ever seen. And I don't know. It's just unreal.
There was a lot of skepticism last year about Tom. We all agreed that it could be Tomlin's last year, but we were like, we doubt it. But there was a lot of talk about it on NFL Network. They were discussing it all over the place. It was, is this Tomlin's last year? Now, do you think this is almost like a last-ditch effort to try to make himself good? That's what I think it is.
Yes, I think he's trying to get everything he can. He got all his chips and he pushed them on the center of the table because TJ, the sands of the hourglass, and Cam's sand is almost out of that glass if he doesn't restructure that contract because it's $22 million.
Yeah.
So he's just going all in. He's got Russell Wilson. He figured, he's got the pedigree of winning a Super Bowl. He got 26 touchdowns. I mean, if Wilson throws for 20 touchdowns, we're already ahead of the game than we were last year, though, too. But I just can't believe that they said, fuck you, Kenny. We don't we're getting rid of you. You're not even going to sit behind, and you're not even going to try to compete. Because realistically, if they'd have known this, Rich, they could have fucking just kept fucking Mason and gave him fucking $3.5 million.
That's the thing that bothers me, though. Everybody's making it seem like, because of what Kenny did 3 weeks ago and what he did week 17, that's why we're doing this. Well, it's not, because if it was, they would have kept probably, what's his name? They would have kept Mason. They would have let Mitch go because Mitch was terrible in Pittsburgh.
They didn't even offer Mason anything. They didn't offer him shit.
And that tells me
he might start, and he might be a starter in Tennessee.
And that tells me right off the bat that they did not have any intention on trading Kenny Pickett. Everybody keeps saying, this was Pittsburgh's idea. The rumors were from Schefter and them guys. It's not the wrath of Congress. What it was the wrath of Pickett because Pickett was pissed. I mean, again, and as a regular person, obviously, I'm an Eagles fan. You guys are Steelers fans. But we're all fans of the game. But in the end, we're human beings, right? Nobody ever wants to be told, hey, here comes this guy.
Right.
We drafted you first round. We gave you a shot. We let Mason go, which that probably gave him some confidence when he saw that Mason wasn't coming.
Sure.
Definitely my team. And then all of a sudden, you're going to compete for the spot. Okay, I'm willing to compete. Well, who's coming in? Russell Wilson. I mean, come on. I mean, any of us in our profession would be extremely humbled and extremely hurt and angry.
I'd be pissed.
Look what we fought our asses off for and then just took over and we had to sit for a year, maybe longer. Who knows? Hard to swallow, man. And he was an Eagles fan. Pretty cool.
Well, speaking of, I got Bill Mims, who's, like I said, an Eagles fan, a free quarterback. Why not? Yep. Philadelphia upgrades at backup for practically nothing.
That's what I was saying. Look, I told John Collier, hey, we stole him, and he took the wrong. No, we got something. I'm not saying that
we didn't get shit unless it develops.
I don't think John I meant by a steal. What I mean by a steal,
right.
Is all you had to do for your first round pick. What's the market? I get that. I'm just saying, for a guy that you just drafted,
no,
with the 20th pick. All we had to do is let you move up 22 spots into the last pick of the third round. You give us 120. It's not like we just gave you a third round pick. You had to give up middle fourth back for the last pick of the third, and we gave you 2 7s. We got them for free. And,
Yeah, I don't like the trade.
and
I understand the trade. I don't think we got enough residual comings out of it.
exactly. That's exactly my problem with it too for you guys is we got him for next to nothing and we get him on a rookie contract. So for the Eagles, we upgraded over Mark. I think he's definitely an upgrade over Marcus Mariota. I think I'd rather have Pickett.
Okay.
Who runs a similar system, by the way, in college and in the pros. Kenny Pickett, I think, will be a pretty good translator to this offense if he has to play. Not to mention, in Pittsburgh, he got banged up a little bit, and you guys were going through some growing pains.
You got a better line. You have a better line, so.
And you have the better line, and we have a ton of targets everywhere you look. I mean, everywhere you go. Now you got Saquon behind you. You got Dallas Goedert at tight end, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith. Devontae Parker's not huge, but he's going to be a good slot guy. Plus, we have two other receivers that play slot that all had over 100 and some receiving yards last year. I mean, he's in a good position to be a good backup. Yeah, huge upgrade at backup. We got him for, like they said, next to nothing.
Yeah, that's what pisses me off.
Yeah, I'm baffled that you guys let him go for what you gave him.
Well, I didn't let him go. I'm just the guy looking in. Yeah. I know. I mean, I hold it dear to the close to the heart.
Ownership rights, unfortunately, I'm not that rich, but I always say my team. It's who I live for. It's who I bleed green.
Right.
I'm like, God damn it, why did we do that? Why did we do
this? Is a lot. I'm telling you, a lot of people like Larry Stryker, Extreme Wrestling Podcast. Trade is not final. He says his hands got smaller and he failed the physical.
But I mean, doing my podcast yesterday, it's funny. We get a lot of people I get a lot of people messaging me. It's funny. They don't comment on my show. They message me instead. I don't know why they do that.
You tell them to get your algorithms up.
While we're live, I hear my phone ding, 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 ding. I look over, my messenger's going crazy. I'm like, put it in the comments.
Right.
But in my messenger last night, you know how my comments are. There's a lot of AFC North in there for whatever reason.
Sure.
Guys in my comment section, and they're all supporting him. Oh, we should have never did this to Kenny Pickett. We never, he doesn't deserve this. Blah blah blah. All of a sudden today, the same guys that were saying that, you're. I'm like, wait a minute, you just loved them yesterday. Literally 12 hours ago, you were telling.
I can say this. I broke my closet the night of the draft because I wanted Davis the nose tackle.
Yep.
The 3 years that has been a roller coaster ride in the Steeler organization has got worse because now we got like, it feels like I'm getting fucking cheap ass Dorito chips and cheap ass pop on this trade.
Yep.
Like, and Todd says the Steelers are setting a new standard. Braden Elliott, thanks for tuning in. Bill Mims says, funny you said Chip reminds me of when Chip left Philly. Dump everybody, restart. Nico says, I see Tannehill being signed knowing Arthur Smith's offense. Just watch. Stryker said, sign Trace McSorley. There ain't no goddamn way I want Trace McSorley.
Trace in college. I'm not a Penn State fan by any means. I did like him in college. I just don't think he translates to the NFL, which is why he won't have an opportunity. But I mean, for me, it blows my mind how fast football fans in general. Eagles fans do it.
Well, everybody's fair weathered, man. You can love somebody an hour later and then hate them the next. I mean,
it depends.
Yeah. Well, Steele says they didn't want Mason in the locker room. They wanted Russ to be the only voice in the offense. Todd says Fields will come for the Eagles picks. Chris Anderson's in the house. Allen says Pittsburgh fucked up the quarterback position in the last 2 years. They had to clean house, so they didn't fuck anything else up.
Problem's been lingering since Ben retired. Look, I used to do
I know.
Well, you remember the show I used to be on, NFL Wars.
Right.
And I've been saying this for the last 4 or 5 years, however long Ben's been gone now.
We could have had Justin Herbert. We wouldn't even have these fucking problems now.
I said at the time, and me and John Collier both agreed live on the podcast like 4 or 5 years ago. It was before Ben left, so maybe even longer. But we're podcast, and I said to him, if you look at any winning franchise, you always draft a quarterback before your main guy retires so they develop. Yes. I mean, and listen, just to give a few examples, there's a ton of them out there. But Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers, now Jordan Love, right? They did the same pattern.
Right.
You go to San Fran, and you're going from Joe Montana to Steve Young, and then even after that, a decent guy in Jeff
Garcia. Yep.
Yeah. But if you look though, the teams that win for a long time, they constantly develop somebody. While
Ben didn't want anybody to come in. Ben didn't want that. And that was the only negative thing about Ben is he wanted to be the man. He didn't want anybody else, and he didn't want to help anybody else.
But Brett Favre was the same way. They said, "Oh well, suck it up, Buttercup. Here comes Aaron Rodgers."
But Favre didn't have the control, I don't think, as much as Ben did.
Rodgers did, though. And
Rodgers did.
Rodgers said no quarterbacks. What do they do in the first round of the draft? They pick up Jordan Love. And it's just, you have to put yourself in a position to be successful long term. And like, for example, you just got to make sure you tell Ben, hey, you're starting.
Wait a minute. Who the hell's Joe Milton? Bones, I don't know who Joe Milton is. I'm not big on. He said Joe Milton. Tim Javicki's not the quarterback. And Stryker said, geez, guys, this guy he's talking about you. Ever stop talking? No, we're good. Jeff, thanks for tuning in. Ryan, your boy Ryan. It's very out of character for the Steelers to give up on a first-round pick that quickly, which he's absolutely right.
Those teams.
I heard that Kenny was mad about Russell Wilson brought in. He has to self-blame for his lack of frustration because Pittsburgh said they had all the confidence in the world with him. Steele says the next year's quarterback class is weaker than the 21 class, and they are going to be looking for the next one for a while. Rich Brink's in. Joshua Hayes is watching. Steelers, Eagles, Super Bowl, says Benjamin, and I know Benjamin. Hopefully he's filling the whack. God bless you, Benjamin. Ryan says Russell Wilson might get you a 10-7 season at least. All the Steelers will get a discount on the danger, which is from Subway.
Well, see,
oh shit, I don't want that either. Shit.
I have one problem with the Russ signing. When I told Freight Train this on my show 2 weeks ago, or it might have been that. And I said, listen, I get that Russell Wilson only cost you $1.2 million. However,
I know
how much more did it cost you that we don't know about? I swear, you can watch the show last night. It's all recorded. It's live. It was live. I said on the show, but how much did it cost you with Kenny Pickett and the confidence of Kenny Pickett? And he was like, I really hope that he doesn't go anywhere. Literally 24 hours.
Less than that. Wow. Yeah. Nobody's seen this coming. I'm telling you, I was at work and somebody goes, hey, Brewer, they just traded Kenny Pickett. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? And then I got on my phone and I'm like, oh my God. And then I forgot shit. I had to take paperwork. I forgot everything after that.
I feel like somebody blows my phone up. Freight Train texted me right away. And then I got a call from John Collier. I got a text from my brother-in-law. I got a phone call from another buddy of mine. I'm like, guys, I'm at work.
Yeah, and I sent you something. I was like, here you go. I even sent you something. And Chris says, if we don't get a center, I will be mad. I don't know if we're going to get a center in the first 2 picks now. I don't know. I have no idea anymore. Justin, hello. How you doing, Justin?
I still think the best fit for you guys, if you want to develop somebody, and I told everybody this is my favorite guy in the draft. I think he's going to sit long enough to where you guys would have a shot at him. I love Bo Nix out of Oregon. You remember during the college show that we did?
Yeah.
Was on Bo Nix. I love that guy. I love that kid. First of all, he's young. He's extremely knowledgeable, great in the pocket. His game translates very, very well to the NFL.
That'll be a second round pick, probably.
That's what they're expecting him to be. But I mean, either way, he's an early second rounder. So it's somebody that you would have to debate on.
Then you have to try. They got to. I think they might go quarterback now. They might do something and move up or something. I don't know.
Loading up for something because you think about it this way: they picked up that trade with Deontay. They picked up the corner, and they also picked up the 6th round pick.
Yep, and got Patrick Queen.
Yep. Well, they got a 3rd round pick and now 2 7ths as well, plus what they already had. That always tells me one thing: whenever a team loads up on low end picks and some middle ones,
right,
a trade package coming of some sort. So either it's a trade up in the draft, or so there's 3 things that could happen. Number 1, they might trade for Justin Fields. I doubt it. I highly doubt it. But they could trade up. They could trade for Justin Fields, or they trade up in the draft with all these smaller round picks. They're going to use them to inflate their spot in the 1st round. Because usually you do a 1st round or a 3rd round or a couple 7ths, whatever. It would make a lot of sense. Or you just want to get a lot of guys in the draft. I have no idea. But the 7th,
I don't know.
They were both 2025 7th rounders. But
yeah. It's just it's baffling. The last 2 weeks and this week here in my team and in your team and all teams lately in the NFL, it's crazy. Like Ryan says, I think the Pittsburgh's best move so far was signing Queen. I hope he gets the cramps. Because he's a Raven fan. Yeah. Sorry, brother. He's a Steeler guy now. Rob says, now what am I going to do with my Tommy Maddox jersey? Ryan says, Pittsburgh is still paying for not having an exit plan for Big Ben. Yeah, I agree. I agree, Ryan.
I've been saying it the whole time.
Yeah. Ryan says, don't forget Mahomes. Ryan says, Big Ben gave enough to the franchise to deserve to go out the way he wanted. Pittsburgh still should have had a plan in place. And Big Ben, I wish they could have drafted Justin Herbert and let him sit a year and it'd have been fine. Milton was the quarterback at Tennessee. Thank you, Chris. Joshua says Russell was a solid stopgap at the time where key veterans aren't getting younger, especially for this red zone production. Pickett was frankly worse than most want to believe. I don't care what offenses is. Having the lowest touchdown percentage of any quarterback who's thrown over 700 passes is absurd in today's game. Sadly, we can't undo the last, but my hope is they sign. It's a sign Pittsburgh wakes up. I got a lot of people comment. I'm sorry. Chris says we might get Fields from the Bears as the backup. I don't know if he'd be backup. They'd be shooting for competition if we traded for him. Benjamin now went from going to the Super Bowl now to 8-9. Chase Cromer's in the house. Dre, Bubba, what's wrong? I don't know, brother. I don't know.
Usually there's 7 Benjamin Bennett.
Benjamin, who said that the Steelers and the Eagles were going to the Super Bowl 5 minutes ago, now has taken them 8-9. And Joshua Hayes says, Ben, you must not be aware of the curse of Tomlin. 9 wins, never 8. Fall behind 21. Nothing in a wild card game. Larry, thanks for tuning in. I never expected Pickett to leave, much less to Philly. Larry said, Dre, I think I was right, but Pickett had other ideas. Steele says, no way to Bo Nix. Hey, guys, I love all your comments. Holy shit. Joshua Hayes can only focus on now, not the past. You want to focus now on a quarterback for the future, but like one who's actually good. Pickett was a 50 or 60-year player out of Pitt in a bad conference year. Insane pick. Chris Anderson, with the Pickett gone now, the drama at quarterback position is over. I don't think so. Even though he could have learned from Russell Wilson. Joshua Hayes, Bo Nix is not the answer. Chris says, Con has something up his sleeve. Wonder what it's going to happen. Only time will tell. Mr. K in the house. Richie Allen's in the house. Rick's in the house. Holy shit. I appreciate all this stuff. I don't have an intern. I produce everything here, and I just read it. And I got the smartest man in Philly, Rich Smoke, the host of NFL Elite Banner, in the house because he's Philadelphia Eagles now has Kenny Pickett. So, it's just crazy. Rick Bowers goes Titans.
Brock Bowers is going to the Chargers. Pick 6.
Chargers.
He's a tight end. Brock Bowers.
Tight end. Yeah. They don't have anybody.
No, that's the one position that they're missing right now. And they just lost their tight end in free agency as well. With Everett, I think they're definitely going to go tight end, and he would be a perfect addition for a guy like Herbert. However, they traded Keenan Allen and cut Mike Williams.
Yes, they did. And Mike Williams was going to be. Steelers were actually looking at him. Yeah. I would have took him a couple years ago. Now I take him now because now I don't know what we got.
Torn ACL last year is what's kind of hurting his value right now. I mean,
we don't have any. Our receivers. 6. Okay. When even a year or two after AB went crazy, we still had receivers. Yep. Now the receivers have dropped from probably B- down to maybe a C, even though George Pickens can get 1,000 yards. That's all we don't have anybody else.
Of Allen Robinson, but it's not much of a sign. He's been
no, they cut him.
Not Allen Robinson. There was somebody else they just signed today.
Van Jefferson. They got the wrong Jefferson.
I meant. That's right.
Now, if like a couple days ago, there was speculation that Kenny was going to get traded, I know I'm not going to say it, but I'd have took that Jefferson. I'd have took that fucking Jefferson in a heartbeat.
For $50 million a year, $45 million a year.
Air it out. Pickens on one side, him on the other, running the ball. Oh my God.
I think first of all, I don't think he's leaving Minnesota anyway in hell. But when I heard $45 million or more is what he's looking for, I'm like, you're out of your goddamn mind for a while.
Steelers ain't paying that, man. We're done. We're the ollies of the NFL teams, man. Ollies.
And that either. Right now, what's funny is for the Eagles.
Good stuff, cheap.
What's funny is they showed this on a statistic yesterday. For Saquon Barkley, Jalen Hurts, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, and Dallas Goedert, it only cost us $32 million total every year. For all of them. What? For example, Daniel Jones for the Giants cost them $45 million a year by himself. We pay less than that for our 5 biggest players on the roster.
Wow. Well, TJ Watt's fucking contract is 32, I think.
Yeah.
I think this year himself.
He's the amount of 5 top players.
Well, yeah, you're right. You're right, Steelers freak. Oh, Mandy Porter's in the house. Mandy. God bless you, Mandy. Chris says, yes, we did get Van Jefferson. So we're moving on up to the east side. Deluxe apartment in the sky. Joshua says AB said he would come back to play. Nah.
keeps tweeting at you guys saying he wants to come back for
him and Bell. Him and Bell do. And Tomlin, you never know about Tomlin. You just don't know. You don't know. You'd be like, oh, hey guys, it's been a while since I've seen you. It's like friends that don't hang out anymore. And then you see him at the grocery store and you're like, hey, come over to the house, have a beer. That's Tomlin right now.
Yes.
Yeah, we used to stay up all night and play poker.
Yeah.
Okay, Todd says, rumor said Tyler Boyd, but he's looking at $43 million of what he's looking for. They're not going to pay him that. They're not going to pay him that.
Guys, don't overvalue a guy. Like, listen, Boyd's good,
but he's not 43 million good.
However, he was with Joe Burrow when Joe Burrow was healthy.
Right.
He also paired up with guys around him that were phenomenal. Yeah. With T. Higgins and Jamar Chase. I mean, there was a ton of weapons. He was able to hide very well. Plus, he wasn't even the second best of the three. I think Higgins was better than he was.
Oh, so, Higgins was badass, man.
So Tyler Boyd is not worth 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 a year. I just don't see it. So if you trade for him, you're going to have to pay a pretty penny for a guy.
Yeah. We're not. Yeah. And we can't afford, like Joshua says, I heard a rumor because their cap position, the Niners are looking to deal Debo, and Steelers can't afford him either. So, but I don't want him in the AFC North. Debo can go some fucking where else. I don't want him in the North.
Rumor is Baltimore.
I know.
And Baltimore's obviously, they need a wide receiver really bad right now. They got the Flowers.
I know.
But they don't have anybody else at receiver right now. They have nobody. They lost everybody else.
And I got to deal with Derrick Henry twice in a season now.
You know what, though? I wouldn't worry too much. I know he's a big
I know, but still.
Hate me for saying it. They've been hating on me for the last week for posting about it. But he doesn't scare. Listen, being a big body like that, dealing with knee injuries and ankle injuries and things like that. And listen, here's my other problem. He's one of the most injury-prone running backs in the NFL, right? For a team who's had more injuries at running back than any other team in the NFL for the last 5 years. It's a bad pairing.
But every time that someone gets hurt, they fill the slot and they still rush for 1,200 yards. Ryan says, I wish EDC would get on the phone to Washington to get Scary Terry. Joshua says, Debo to the Ravens. Honestly, he's the most underrated player in football. There are players who are allegedly to be scared like Lamar Jackson. Then there are players who are actually scary that would put the Ravens way over the top. Todd says Henry has the games against the Steelers. Just saying. I don't know about that. I think we play good against Henry, and we play good against Lamar Jackson because Lamar Jackson's only 2-5 against us. Ryan says we got Henry for a bargain. You realize he has 6 consecutive seasons with at least 10 touchdowns. Bad games. My bad, said Todd. And Ryan said too much money. So, yeah. So, I mean, it was a crazy day, man.
Sometimes we forget this isn't Madden where you turn the salary cap off and sign every guy in free agency. You got to be realistic and remember there's a cap limit you can't hit. So
yeah. Yeah, I mean, it could be. I mean, you got to get it over. I'm sorry, I did it quickly.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the Ravens got to do whatever they got to do.
Lamar,
I mean,
be fair, Lamar did get a lot better in the pocket last year. That's what made him a better quarterback, I think, in my opinion. That's why he got the MVP. His arm looked a lot better last year.
And Wilson had the same numbers as Lamar.
Yeah.
1.2 million now.
Yep.
Only quarterback in the locker room now. All the quarterbacks from last year are gone in the Steelers. Starting receiver is gone. Jefferson from the Archie Bunker and All in a Family we signed today. You
lost Allen Robinson, who did nothing for you anyway.
No. That was $11 million it saved.
I'm just saying, even the wide receiver room got wiped out now.
The receiver room is, like I said, a C- now.
Yeah.
C-. I know. Let me smoke my pipe dream, says Josh. Ryan says smoke. That was John. We stacked picks. Chris Elliott, Todd. No way. Tyler Boyd is looking for $43 million. You're smoking some good shit.
There's no way.
Todd Balco said the Cowboys will give him up another star. Bill Mims says Nick Foles is a free agent. Hey, I need quarterbacks now.
Foles is old as shit. That guy ain't fucking doing nothing.
Well, Joshua says, but there are ways to structure contracts to make things work too. Yes, I wasn't meaning that the Steelers are going to get Debo Samuel. I was just pointing it out, and they're looking to deal him in San Francisco as a cap. The Steelers are one more constrained teams. Yeah. Man,
No,
and
I wasn't bashing the guy by no means. I'm just saying cap space is tight, man. You still got to remember you got to sign the rookies.
That's too much money. Well, I don't know who they're going to draft now. A week ago, I was looking at the Steelers with a center. Now, all my draft picks have gone out the window, and we don't even have a center unless they're putting Herbig as center now and going with that for a year. Mim says Foles is 35, the same age as Russell Wilson, so that's 70 years old between the two of them. Todd says multi-year deal. Oh shit. Oh, I can't go back up. I'm sorry. Typically, you have to go in a draft with about 10 million. Joshua says. Ryan says Michael Gallup is a realistic Raven target. Justin, thanks for tuning in. So there's a lot more teams out there that need to shed. Yes.
Pittsburgh target. Listen. I'm happy he's out of Dallas because he used to kill us for whatever reason. Michael Gallup killed us. But
hey, if we can get him cheap, I don't care. We need some receivers in the receiving room.
I don't know what the value would be for him, but I mean, if you can get him for $70 a year or $80 a year, which is like the average price for a receiver,
right?
Oh, by all means, he'd be.
Well, we paid Dante fucking 18, and he get no touchdowns. So what difference does it make?
Yeah, I think for Tyler Boyd, by the way, I don't think he's looking for $40.
No.
I think we're probably looking at probably around $10 million a year. Is probably what
give him that hometown discount, and then he could say he played for the Steelers, because if he said he played for the Steelers and he retires, he can always make money in the community in Pittsburgh because people will love him forever. I mean, Rod Woodson, when Woodson had that bar in town, he rolled out, fucking closed in fucking 2 weeks. I mean, that's how it was. Nobody was going.
Well, that's why I'm happy for Kenny Pickett. Did you see the picture of him wearing the Carson Wentz jersey from like 5-6 years ago? He grew up with a big Eagles fan. They actually showed a picture today on the news on the NFL.
It was.
He grew up in the New Jersey area, and there's actually a picture of him with his friends where he's wearing a Carson Wentz jersey.
Maybe they should have just drafted. I think we should have got a center anyway. I think I was okay with Mason and Dobbs, and I wanted a nose tackle. And Justin says there is a lot of teams that need to shed. Debbie Howes Wilson, thank you for tuning in again. God bless you. That's twice this week. And Joshua says the Steelers do a fantastic job drafting great receivers. They're about 85%. Now, if Calvin Austin can actually produce, then that could be a little bit more. Maybe that average could go up to about 92.
Calvin Austin for you guys is the equivalent of Kes Watkins for us. He's a speedy guy. We're like, oh my God, he's so fast. That's what Kes Watkins was supposed to be. A good number 3, good number 2, super fast. And they never translated. They just never
Yeah. I don't know I think we're just going to run the ball with Jalen and Najee's going to have a big year, and the tight ends double tight. And then this defense we got could be lights out. Hopefully everybody's healthy. That's the fucking key, is healthy.
Maybe draft some in the later rounds, maybe trying to grab a couple guys in the secondary as well for some cornerback depth. I think you guys might need there.
If Corey Trice comes back from injury, that'll be a key. And then Burns wanted Kool-Aid. He wanted Kool-Aid. That's what Burns wanted to draft in the first round. Kool-Aid.
Yeah, player.
But it ain't going to happen now. No defensive player in the first round. We're going to get offense.
Let me ask you this. So if you're the GM,
okay.
If you are,
okay.
So the obvious holes you got to fill. You got to keep an eye at center, like you said. You got to watch the quarterback spot because you have to assume no matter what, you might not get Russell Wilson back for another year.
Right.
So you got a quarterback problem, a wide receiver problem, a center problem, and you got some guys on the defensive side, like a corner, for example, that you could benefit from. Who are you drafting with your first round draft pick? What position do you attack?
I'm still going center, because if you get one of the best centers in the draft, that's good 10 years right there. Now, the second round pick now, due to the fact that we need a young quarterback, if you get the guys, I don't know about what is it, Phoenix or Knicks? If Knicks lands at 51, or you trade up to 49 or 46, maybe get him. And then go, because receivers now, because I brought JT Toth from Draft Nation on the show. He knows all his shit, man. He said this year is a lot of receivers, defensive tackles in the later rounds. Yep. So then we get third round. I'd be happy with a receiver. And then we need all offense, and everything else would be depth for your defense.
Yep.
I'm not, that was the GM as a Steeler. And then also Hold on, I got a whole bunch of stuff. Hometown discounts with Primanti Brothers sandwich. Chris says, Joshua, we need a booster in the middle of both lines. If we do that, we'll be cooking. But also, too, guys, they just got rid of Ahmed Watts, went to the New England Patriots. So, and they signed Montavious Adams for a 2-year deal. And Cam Hayward is still old on the tooth. You know, the Steelers time to Justin Simmons. I've got a question for you right now from Joshua Hayes. Hey, Smoke, what are your thoughts about Philly requiring the Kenny at the cost that you did?
So, and listen, and Bubba, you're aware of this. I've been crapping on Kenny Pickett since he came into the league. I think I've been kind of crapping on him. If we gave up a lot, I'd be pissed. Like I said when I first came on the show, I love him for what we paid for him. Right? It's one of the where it's all about. So I'm glad you asked that question. First of all, I love the value. I love what we got him for. So at first, when I first saw the trade, my immediate reaction, I literally threw my pen across. I work for insurance. I threw my pen across. I'm like, oh, please don't fucking tell me we gave up some crazy capital. And John Collier had it wrong at first. He's like, oh, you gave up 2 seconds. I'm like, we gave up what? I said,
yeah, I'd be pissed too. I'd be pissed too.
I almost lost it. I was like, I was typing so fast. I'm like, Adam Schefter, where's he at? What the hell? And I was like, oh, dude, for 22 picks up, we moved back 22 picks in the 4th round, and we gave you 2 7th rounders. I love it because for the Eagles, we had Marcus Mariota last year as a backup, and you watched him in preseason. He looked like absolute dog shit. So for me, I think we definitely upgraded the quarterback position for the backup quarterback. And again, I think with the weapons that we have around, I know you guys are going to say, oh, well, he's not going to be good regardless. But I think for what we have around him, if he has to play for a game or two, I'm not concerned.
I think I know as crazy as it sounds, but I'm thinking the Steelers should have got a low 2nd round pick, and maybe a 2nd round pick, and then a later round pick for Kenny.
I think what happened was, with how pissed off Kenny Pickett was,
he just wanted to get out of town.
He wanted to get out of town, and I think what happened was for them, even though it's not a lot of money because it was a rookie contract for them, for the books off a little bit, right? Like, hey, you're obviously not going to stay. We're not going to fight to keep you. Let's just part ways now, and then we'll have the money to spend, and we'll have the extra draft picks if we want to do something with them. Let's just send them out.
Yeah.
So, I think what happened too is with the Justin Fields thing going on and everything else, Garoppolo getting signed.
But also too, I see Tomlin fucking forcing them somewhere. I see something crazy going down.
What I don't get is, why didn't they trade him a little bit sooner though? Because if you look at it, Seattle traded for Sam Howell, so they were available for a backup.
Yeah, he was good. I thought he was good last year, or half decent.
Ritter got traded. There was an available. All of the backup quarterback spots that people were trying to fill, they already filled. So you waited already until all the starters got signed, so all got signed or traded, and now you want to trade Kenny Pickett. Why would you not have traded him when the stove was still hot? You're trying to cook the old stove.
Right. And like I said, we could have got a low 2nd round pick.
You probably could.
And then,
You don't show your cards. Don't tell anybody, hey, Kenny wants to get traded. Just say, hey, we're thinking about shopping him. What would you be willing to give up? Because the less desperate you look, the more you get back.
Yeah.
I think
don't know.
And Philly wouldn't have taken him that high. We wouldn't have given up a 2nd round pick for him.
No. Oh, no. It would have been somebody else, though. Somebody else in the NFL would have took him.
Yeah.
So Hayes says 100% yes, center. Chris said center in the 1st round. Ryan says, do you think Aaron Donald is a Hall of Famer? Yes, I do.
First ballot.
Yeah.
I think him, and I mean, just from my opinion, I think 2 of the guarantees, I think Jason Kelce and Aaron Donald will be first ballot Hall of Famers.
Yeah, I believe so too. Todd said definitely a Hall of Famer. Chris says, I know AD. No. AD? No, I don't think he'd come out of retirement. I don't think Aaron Donald would come out of retirement to play for Steelers at a hometown discount. No,
he's done.
No. Oh, hi, Kelly Elgin. Thanks for tuning in, Kel. Justin, I think he got pissed once Russell Wilson came to town. Yes, I agree with that. Jimmy says, I heard we got an ex-Falcons quarterback. No, we did not. We got a ex-Falcons receiver, and he won a Super Bowl ring with the Rams. Joshua, here's the thing about Kenny. I'm smack talking him as a starter, but he is not irredeemable. If you can keep him from opening up his torso, flopping around in a scramble, he can plant his feet and throw a great dart. He actually throws one of the better curls I've seen. Todd says maybe Philly will trade him now for LOL. And Kelly says, hi, Bubba. So, wow. And fan to fan, I can't believe it.
one of the things that we were going to do in this draft is, first of all, Philadelphia, as long as I've been alive, we've never gone into a season with less than 3 quarterbacks. We always have 3.
This has never happened. This has never happened in Pittsburgh history.
We've never gone a season that I can remember off the top of my head. Like even with McNabb, it was McNabb, Detmer, and Feely. McNabb, Garcia, and Feely. Then it was Michael Vick, Kevin Cobb, and there was somebody else at the time. We always go into a season with 3 quarterbacks every single time, no matter who they are. And I don't see us trading him. We wouldn't give up.
I can see Steelers freak. I can agree with that because if he like, remember, Tomlin doesn't want hostages playing for the Steelers, and if he's going to have a negative attitude, it's better to get rid of him before it got way worse in the year. But I can't believe that they said what they said about him, and they signed Wilson, and they signed Wilson for that 1 point. It's very un-Steelers like this whole week.
We don't. All I keep trying to tell people is, I've been saying this to myself, is let's not pretend that we know the behind the scenes. It's easy to crap on a team. It's easy to crap on a player. Let's just call it what it is. He's not with the Steelers anymore.
Yep.
We'll never know. Like, we might hear different rumors and different reports.
It doesn't matter now. I didn't buy a jersey. I'm okay. Yeah. And I didn't buy a McFarlane. You know, when the McFarlane figures, I didn't buy one of them either. And at the comic book store, they'll be fucking for $7.99, and I still won't buy them because I won't have to.
You can go buy a Pickett jersey right now for like $8 probably at your local store.
I bet you people are. I'm telling you, there is people fucking pissed on this side of the state, man. I'm telling you, I'm okay because I wasn't all. I liked it when he was 7-2. I liked it when the 50th anniversary against the Raiders for Franco. You know, that was historic for me. That was good. And then I was all in on Kenny then. And then this past year, you know, and then not producing those 3 games we lost to the Cardinals, the New England Patriots, and the Colts. That fucking sickened me.
But when you're a first-round pick, you need to have a little bit more leniency to be able to have a little bit more time to actually.
A little bit.
Like, again, I think bringing in competition was the right idea. You should. That's the best way to spark somebody up. I just think Russell Wilson was an obvious, hey, man, this isn't a competition. That's all.
DJ Maxx, 1999. Well, and this has never happened before in Steeler history, and I'm 53 years old. I've never seen the Steelers going in barely with a quarterback who's never played for the Steelers, and there's nobody behind him. I've never seen this. I've never seen the receiving core at a C+, and I'm grading it because I do a Steeler podcast. I just never seen this. Omar Khan has been doing stuff, but I mean, it's not done yet. No. We're not done. No. And Matt Black, thanks for tuning in. Joshua says shallow curls routes and the receiver's making his way back to the line of scrimmage. Kenny's good at making those throws. Chris said, who's the best free agent quarterback center at the moment right now? I don't even know who the best free agent quarterback is right now.
I don't know, but right now the highest ranked quarterback left is Ryan Tannehill. He is.
That's it. He's coming then. He's coming. Because he knows the offense.
But do you want to bring in 2 quarterbacks, one at 35, one at 36 years old? It doesn't make a lot of sense.
Nothing makes sense anymore. And then you got to, but also too, if they sign him fucking cheap and they get him for $2 million, you got 2 quarterbacks for $3 million, and then you draft a quarterback in the second round to learn behind those 2.
Yeah, you could. And
then you might sign another quarterback because you're probably gonna have 4. A couple years ago, the Steelers did have 4. And then Jimmy says Russell Wilson. Todd said, are we experiencing the Mandela effect or whatever it's called? I don't know. Joshua says Steve might have me pricing them out tomorrow. Oh yeah, because Joshua works at the comic book store. Yeah, sorry, Josh. I was gonna buy one like 2 weeks ago too, and now he's not a Steeler. I got a Le'Veon Bell one time, and it fell off my bar thing, and the head broke off. And I never bought Le'Veon. I didn't buy another Le'Veon Bell because he's not when they leave the Steelers, I just lose all kind of oomph. So quarterback going forward is the youth movement. You just don't know. You just don't do it in the first round unless you got an actual first round talent. And at least no Brady. Maybe we can get Tom Brady to come out of retirement. I don't know.
Part of why Pittsburgh fans are so pissed off is because he came to Philadelphia of all places.
And he came for less. I'm telling you. I don't know what you got out there to eat, but over here, it's called Walmart got great value. Everything's all cheap. That's what you got. You got great value trade.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And you got him like, I'd have been happy with a second round pick.
Yeah.
And I'm not happy with what we got for what we now. Hopefully, I'll have to see what these picks get. If we get an Antonio Brown out of these picks, like a player like that was legitly superhuman, that's a dime and a dozen. That's like throwing darts against a fucking dartboard and trying.
A part of the trade package, I think. I don't see why they would have taken a 4th and 2 7ths.
Yeah.
I call it a 4th as the very last pick of the 3rd round.
Yeah, I have no idea. Oh, Mike Fabian on the hills watching. Bob Rufner and Bob's tuning in right now. And I just want to give a quick plug. Barbecue Bob tomorrow at the 119 Antique Trading Post. Bob's doing his barbecue stuff. He's got a wagon. He's he's got the food cart. He's ready to rock and roll. He said, you better get there early because he will sell out before 3:00, and I get off at 3. If they call me, I'm going to work tomorrow. I gotta pay for wrestling now. Yeah. So everybody in Indiana County, go out and see Barbecue Bob. He's got his food cart up and ready. He's going to be traveling all around Indiana County, and then when he throws out there where he's at, you guys will know because I'll share it on my social media because I try to help everybody out because that's what I do. And Todd says maybe that's why all the Yager bobbleheads went missing. Somebody stole them all. Joshua says, wait, what's Big Ben up to? If he can't keep doing his podcast, maybe he needs ready to be a backup. Oh, I don't know. I'm good with Ben retiring now. Yeah. Yeah. Sissy McNevin, thanks for tuning in, Sissy. God bless you. Hope everything is well. So, hey, Smoke, thanks for coming on tonight. This was an impromptu, and that's what I named it. It was an impromptu because
my phone. I'm never on my phone for StreamYard.
Oh, well, yeah, I mean, it is what it is, but I just did it because this is big news, and I can't hold off till Wednesday. Well, I was supposed to go to a wrestling show tonight, and I got the days mixed up. It's next week.
I wanted to post a video on my page. I'm like, you know what? Bubba's already live. Let's see if I can go hijack half of the show. Let's go over there.
Oh, brother, you can come on anytime, man. You know that.
Well, I just thought it was a cool thing because obviously it's between the two of our teams. I'm like, you know what? For once, Bubba and I have a mutual interest in one specific move. Let's do it.
Yeah.
So,
No. I appreciate you coming on, brother. Thank you so much. Yeah, this is spur of the moment, man. I was like, I got to get this out now. I don't know if I'm sure other Steeler podcasts did the same stuff. Mine is highly unorthodox podcast, but I mean,
for anybody in the comments who ever thought about starting a podcast, the one thing you got to realize is if if you wait a whole week to put it out, it's already dead by the time you air it. So
yeah.
My strategy is going to be a lot more random live 15-minute videos as an update for free agency or whatever. I have a lot more stuff I'm planning on doing, but I think you have to be quicker.
It's hard. This is hard, isn't it?
It's just a timing thing. It's the hardest part. I mean, I work crazy hours, and I'm a dad for the rest of the night. So for me, the hard part is if I had it my way, I'd be popping on and going live all the time, doing all the updates. After I have you on there saying them, I work all day.
If I could do this for a living, I would talk about everything except for politics because I don't want to do that. But I would talk about Steelers. If I wish I knew more about the Pirates, I'm taking the Pirates at 86 wins this year. Yeah. 86 wins, playoffs. 86.
Phillies at 101.
Okay. Well, yeah, you guys are a little better than us. Joshua says, awesome stuff. Love talking football and hearing your stuff. Barbecue Bob says he appreciates it. Yeah, like I said, anybody in Indiana County, go and you like barbecue, go get Barbecue Bob. He's got his food truck. He's going to be doing it all around the county. I went and got my first Jersey Mike sub today, and I'm going to tell you right now, a long Jersey sub Mike. Now, prices out your way is different than Western Pennsylvania. I paid $17 fucking for a fucking hoagie.
What?
Yes.
$17
yes, $17 for a hoagie. It's called the Giant, and it's not really giant because a Bilo sub at Bilo for $11 is like this long. Like I can eat a Bilo sub for 2.5 days. I go up to Jersey Mike's. It was I got a pop. I got a root beer. It was $21 fucking dollars. So if I take the family out, I'm fucking paying $100 at goddamn fucking Jersey subs.
Way.
Jersey Mike's, and there ain't no way.
No way.
And then we got a Permane Brothers, and I was walking in, and they weren't even open. They had the fucking TV on, and I thought everything was going. I was going to go get something to eat tonight, and they're like, "Oh, sir, we're not open yet." I'm like, "Oh, I see the TV's on. I was going to try." She gave me free French fry coupons. I was like, "Okay, well, I'll be back."
Well, fun fact: Jersey Mike's is all over the place in Southern Philly.
Okay, but what's a Jersey Mike cost out your way?
I've never gone because
You never.
So being from Philly, hoagies and cheesesteaks are a really big deal. And when you're from Philly, you avoid chains at all because you know how chains are. I mean, it's quality over it's you lose quality because you're gonna get a bunch of shit, whatever. And being from Philadelphia, you have so many other options that you don't.
Well, I like a good dive bar food. A good dive bar food, you know, like hoagie, wings, and shit. That's thumbs up. So, okay, I got. Oh, Shane Brandenburg's in the house. Shane, what's up, brother? Chris says, I know this will never happen. Maybe we could steal the backup quarterback from the Ravens since we need a backup quarterback. And KSW Wrestling is tonight. Yes, KSW has 2 shows this weekend. Is there an online flyer for Bob? Sounds awesome. And Barbecue Bob. Yeah, Bob, $17. And he PM'd you. And okay, I'm just trying to make I'm a promoter and I'm trying to promote, so I promote everything.
Yep.
I signed for the building today. I got a fucking doctor. I got 95% of the fucking the card intact, ready to go. Chris is doing a great job. I mean, Larry's doing a great job.
It's looking like Rich Smoke might come out west in June. So I think
you got a place to stay if you need a place to stay.
Yeah, I think I'm done. Listen, dude, with how much you've talked about wrestling over the last couple of years that I've known you, and knowing the passion. And listen, I missed the wedding because I got stuck with a bunch of car issues, which sucked.
Right. Well, yeah, and I think your kid got sick too, right?
Yeah. And this is the next biggest thing after the wedding, so I definitely got to make this one to make up for the last.
Well, Rich. If Tam said no to this, I wouldn't be doing this.
Yeah,
Tammy's actually booking the female wrestlers, and the female wrestlers, they're just I don't know what they think. We were gonna have a female match, but it bogged down because they just you know what, they just didn't give they didn't get fast enough. And I don't know if they thought that I was a joke because I haven't had a show in a long time. But yeah, I mean I'm ready to go.
It's like
I'm ready.
Forget how to do it. You know, it's like you haven't done it, never forget how to do it. Why don't you promote something?
Well, I'm trying to do it smart, and I'm just trying to do it a smart way. Because I set back on my heels, and I want to get along with every federation around Western Pennsylvania. I don't want to be, you know, Conan the Barbarian and doing and shit talking. I don't want to do that. I want to hold my head up high because my wife told me that, you know, be classy, not sassy. Yep. So, you know, but yeah, I'm going to be selling tickets once we get the tickets. I got them. No, I know how to make them now, and we got to get stuff online, and that's a little different than it was in the 90s. Because in the 90s, we didn't have all this social media stuff. You know, it was putting up posters on you know, on the walls at bars and pizza places and telephone poles. And now social media, you can I can email everybody the poster because you know what's
of a turnout. Something tells me.
Well, I hope so. I'm looking for. I want 300 or more. There's 400 seats on the floor, and then we're gonna have grand general admission because this is arena, S&T Bank Arena. They do ice hockey on the other side, and we ran there before, and I wrestled Nikolai Volkov there, and I got spray painted NWO by Virgil. So,
how many steel cage matches did you have in the 90s, dude? Jesus Lord,
I had a couple.
I actually went looking through all the. I thought it was pretty cool. I love seeing old shit like that. So I'm like reading some of the names, and I'm like, steel cage match, Big Bubba Brooms. I'm like, steel cage match, Big Bubba. I'm like, what the hell? When did you ever get out of the cage? Was there ever a time?
Yeah, well, I never climbed out of the cage because I never could. I had to pin to people, but yeah, I mean, well, for me being local, I was pretty much the local draw. Because I got tried. One time I got tried to turn a bad guy, and people were cheering me anyway. It just didn't work. The promoter, Chris Last, tried to turn me heel, and it didn't work. And I'm like, Chris, I could smack a little old lady, and people are still going to cheer for me in my hometown. You can't be a heel. And
it wasn't his fault. It was her fault.
Yeah. So I'm not wrestling. I'm retired. I can't do any of that due to no, because the thing is, Rich, people are paying money, and for me, I am not where I think people I don't want people wasting their money because I can't wrestle anymore, and I would never be able to give the best show that I possibly could give.
Yep.
The best thing I can do is to promote and talk people into the building. So I think
I was ready. Listen to this. Listen to this for a marquee. Ready for a dark match, right? Like just before or after. Big Bubba Brewer versus Larry the King Striker in a tables match.
Larry's going to be. Well, it could, but I'll let Larry pin me. But Larry's doing all the media. You know, Kal-El. I got Kal-El. He's on here. Kal-El, thanks for tuning in. Hey, man, I try to give plugs. Kal-El, buckle to buckle. Subscribe. The kid knows his football and he knows his wrestling. I think I'm going to get him for our picks. That'll be good. He
knows football, though. First, he was a Bills fan. The other day,
he's a Tampa Bay fan, too.
Last night, he commented in my comment section saying, as a Bucks fan, I'm like,
yeah.
I remember correctly. I tried to defend him. I did defend him on my show, though. I'm pretty sure he was a Bills fan because of his dad, if I remember correctly. But his dad has
been a Tom Brady fan all his life,
okay.
and then Kal-El is a Tampa Bay and he's got two teams. So I got one, yeah. But I'm gonna bring him on next year, and he's gonna do football picks with us before he goes to bed. Jimmy says, I remember the APWF. Yes, it was fun. Thank you.
Only after he finishes his homework, though. He has to show us.
Yeah, he's got to. Yeah, because I don't want his mom yelling at me and it's like, hey, Bubba, my kid's on your podcast picking football, and not his grades are suffering. That's all I need. No, Chris said, let's have a dance off, Bubba versus Larry with a wrestling tag team. The STDs as the judges.
Oh man.
I'm done. I'm a promoter. I am a podcaster. I am not a wrestler. I mean, I'm good for about a minute, but that shit ain't going to be professional wrestling. It'll be real. So I'm good, you know, but like I said, Rich, I'm not in any shape to actually wrestle, and it cheapens, but the people that Chris, the booker, Chris Coleman, we got the best independent talent, people that have been on TV. So I'm very, very happy. And then my people been trying to get on. I can't book everybody. Yeah. I just can't do it. I mean, it's just times are different. It's not money. Everything is inflation. It's not like it used to be. You know, so blah, 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 you know, but I am going to try to do something for the guys who we all used to wrestle back in the day. Like a couple minutes before the show, we're going to have a meet and greet with one of the wrestlers. And, you know, once I get the posters out and stuff, I mean, I've been working all week. I got more shit done in a week doing the wrestling stuff than I did for my shoot job.
If your boss is watching this, he's just kidding. He's just kidding.
No, well, you know, I do my job too. I'm pretty strict, and I'm a prick at work. So, you know, and I'm a nice guy outdoors. But Rich, thanks for coming on. You got anything to plug, brother, while you're here?
Just gonna say NFL Elite Banner every Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern time. I will be dropping some videos throughout the week from here on out if I can. One thing I do want to plug, and this will be coming up soon. It's not much of a name change because, again, this is all one. If you guys have noticed, it is a network. That's what we're trying to build as a network here and have different sports shows. Coming up in the next month or so, I'm going to say a month or so, I think there might actually be an MLB Elite Banner coming as well. So,
wow, okay.
So coming where we will cover every single baseball team. We'll go over some of the stuff going on. And hopefully that starts before the season. It might not be just in time, but I know Freight Train's been dying to do baseball. I've been kind of dying to do some baseball. I talk so much football. I keep forgetting how knowledgeable I am outside of it.
Right. I wish I could do baseball, but I love baseball back in the 80s and 90s and when Sid Bream went around third and crushed my dreams.
Okay. Well, it's it. NFL Elite Banner every Thursday, 8 p.m., and then baseball coming soon. So if you're a big baseball fan, please do follow our page, NFL Elite Banner, on Facebook. You can find us on YouTube, Twitter, etc. We're everywhere. So,
well, Shane said do a Holiday Express commercial. He said, and Shane Stodmiller, special field correspondent, does his shows. The Big 12, West Virginia stuff. Shane was on last night. We did pulp culture. And everybody, like I said, everybody that comes on the show, man. Everybody that comes on the show that does podcasts and people that listen to me, please listen to them. Subscribe. get their numbers up. They're entertaining. They do Thursday nights at 8 o'clock. This is a Steeler podcast. If you want to know about everything in the NFL, you go to the NFL Elite banner. I've been saying that for weeks now. If you want to know something, you go to that podcast.
And in case you guys are curious, my co-host, Mr. Freight Train, he is a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. So you are getting a lot of Steelers takes as the show. I don't think we've had an episode yet where the Steelers have not been talked about for at least 15 minutes. And we do get all kinds of people coming on the show. And everybody who comes on is also a Steelers fan except for me. So you will always get Steelers takes, as well as we talked about some moves potentially happening earlier on in our show, like a couple weeks back, that actually did take place. We did predict the Russell Wilson thing as a joke, and we did predict the Deontay Johnson trade, which everybody saw coming. But we do talk Pittsburgh, and we do talk about some of the things that could impact certain teams. So by all means, if you want the newest news out and you want to hear some takes and some theories, come on and give yours. So we're all about community as well. So man, pop on. More comments, better.
Yep. Well, thank you very much there. Everybody, thanks for tuning in to this impromptu Friday night show. We just had the smartest man in Philadelphia, Rich Smoke, in the house, giving his take on the biggest trade that I think I've ever seen in Steeler history, I believe. I think this is the biggest one ever.
Just a shocker. Yeah, just a shocker.
Okay, it's the biggest. You know what? The biggest shocker ever. I'll say that.
Yep.
Yeah, not the shocker, just the shocker. Okay. Community brings unity. Pod said, thanks, guys. Have a great weekend. And everybody, thanks for tuning in. Loved your comments. The Facebook feeds was just crazy. YouTube stuff was crazy. Please hit like and subscribe. Please just keep this going. Hey, I do it because I love it. I don't make a dime out of this. And I love bringing people on like Rich Smoke and the boys because he's one of the boys of the podcasting family. And like I said, if you guys have it, please subscribe to NFL Elite banner. You'll get all the NFL. Now you're going to get the Major League Baseball. There you go. There you go. So, okay, everybody, have a great night and a better tomorrow. Rich, have a great night, brother. Thanks for coming on. Okay. Happy St. Patty's Day, Chris said. Happy St. Patty's Day. Oh, Aaron Go Bra. But you know what? Aaron Go Braless is way better. See you, everybody.